Not as wide as the mat, not feet together, feet in line with the sitting bones. If you were wearing skis, it's a strange image, but go with me here. If you were wearing skis on your sitting bones and they extended forward, your heels and your toes would be on the skis. And the elbows are bent, and the hands rest on the lower belly or on the low ribs. Elbows are out to the sides, shoulder blades wide. And feel the breath coming and going, just right away dropping in to the extent that you're able, leaving behind anything that came before this or anything you're heading to next. Allow the in-breath to fill the hands. The belly moves toward the hands and fills them. And with the out-breath, the belly moves away from the hands and recedes back toward the spine. Inhale, skin of the belly moves toward the skin of the palms. Exhale, the belly recedes away from the palms. Allow your body to be heavy, to surrender to the floor, to the support of the floor. In particular, allow the soles of your feet and the back of your pelvis and the shoulder blades and the back of the head to be heavy to the floor. Good. We're going to start with a little bit of pelvic tilt. You could take the hands to the hip points or keep them at the low belly. Take an inhale, fill the belly. As you exhale, draw the navel toward the spine, lengthen the tailbone, press the whole lower back and toward the floor. Exhale fully, lengthen the tailbone. As you inhale, come back to neutral spine. There's a little space between the low back and the floor. As you exhale, curl, extend the tailbone, press the low back to the floor, hollow out the abdomen. Complete exhale. And as you inhale, rolling back to neutral, right? So you don't have to come into the arch position. We're going curl, neutral. Exhale, flatten out the curve, belly to spine, full exhale. Inhale, come back to neutral spine. Fill the belly. One more time, exhale. Really press that low back, imprint into the floor. Inhale, come back to neutral. Nicely done. Give the knees a hug. And you can take anything you like here, rock a little side to side, or take the knees in circles. Some way to massage out the low back a little bit, even before we begin, before we've done anything. It's just nice to have this awareness of the sacrum, this large, bony part of the low back. Give it a little massage as we ready for practice. Place the left sole of the foot down onto the floor. Take your strap and extend your right leg up toward the ceiling. Good. If you'd like, you can lengthen the left leg along the floor. And if you don't have a strap, no problem. Take the hands, clasp them behind that right thigh. Allow the leg to really drop into the hands. Good. So the knee can be as bent as you'd like, or the leg can be straight. We're bringing up a little bit of sensation for the back of the leg, hamstring, calf. If you want a little more in the calf, flex through those right toes, draw them toward your forehead. Good. And then make little circles on the ceiling with your right foot. Really good for the hip, getting the synovial fluids moving. Then a couple circles in the other direction. See how much ease you can bring. Just make it easy, make it spacious. And then with both hands on the strap, with both sides of the strap in the right hand, take the right leg out to the right. Or if you don't have a strap, you're just going to hold behind the knee or at the calf. Take the left hand to the left thigh or the left hip point so you ground the left side of the body down. You don't want it to come up. And then come on up, release the strap, bring the leg down. And we'll take the other side, left foot extending long, or hands clasped behind the left thigh, or holding with the strap. Right knee can be bent or right leg can be extended. Again, continuing with that feeling of heaviness in the sacrum. This grounding. Diving your attention into the places you feel sensation. Back of the left leg. And then take the strap into both hands and take that left leg out to the left. Ground the right hip point or the right thigh. I happen to have the benefit of this sofa right here, and I'll just say that's a tip for the road. It's really nice if you're near a bed or a sofa. You can just kind of rest with this action. And it works really on both legs. It's a nice, quiet way to take that pose. And then when you're ready, come on back. And one more time, hug both knees into the chest. Can do some rocking side to side or front and back. And then as you're ready, make your way up to seated. Take your time. Today is the 26th of the month of Shvat. We're coming on the end of the month. And this Friday and Shabbat will be Rosh Chodesh Adar. So we're moving in the direction of the Purim holiday. I want to begin with a chant, and I realized I forgot to put that into the chat. One moment. There you go. Feel free to join me or just to listen. God, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Vasuli Mikdash V'shachanti betocham v'anachnu Nevarech ya me'ata ve'ad olam. From the opening of Parshat Truma. Truma means gift. Ve'asuli mikdash. God says, make for me a sanctuary. V'shachanti betocham, that I might dwell not within it, but within them. So let them make a sanctuary for me that I may dwell within them. So we've had Parshat Beshalach, we crossed the sea into freedom. We've had the 10 Commandments in Parshat Yitro, the 10 utterances. And then Parshat Mishpatim, coming into rules and from freedom to receiving rules and regulations and codes for how to live in a just society. And now we turn in this parsha and all the remaining parshiot of Shemot to the building of the Mishkan, the tabernacle, which will carry God's presence through the wilderness, will be the Holy of Holies. So I'd like to share with you a little bit of Rabbi Yael Levy's piece in Directing the Heart, which is a poetic interpretation of the parasha, a little portion of what she wrote. And now the mystery calls. Make for me a sacred place that I might dwell within you. Bring me gifts of what you love, gifts of beauty, radiance, and joy. Bring me gifts of what you value, what you hold most precious and dear. And make for me a sacred place that I might dwell within you. Know that it's not your gold and silver I desire, nor your dolphin skins, copper, or jewels. What I'm asking for is your generosity, your willingness to give. For I am seeking intimacy. Make for me a sacred place by opening your heart and lifting up the work of your hands. Create a space for my presence by honoring your beauty and offering your gifts. So the Israelites have been called to bring forth all of their material gifts for the creation, for the building of the Mishkan. And they're also called to bring generosity, nedivut lev. So beautiful. So we can think of this body that we inhabit as a Mishkan. Through the way I care for this body, I'm able to invite God in. And can we make of this body, a sanctuary? Can we accept it? And in talking about gifts, some thoughts for this week as we go through this week. What are your own, my own unique gifts and talents? What is your truma, your offering? What am I being called to bring forward from my heart? What am I being called through my own nedivut lev, my own generosity to bring forward? How can I invite God's dwelling presence more deeply into my daily life? How can I help to invite divine presence more deeply into my community or communities, various communities? How would I need to organize myself? Who would I need to be in order to be this gift and create this Mishkan? So that's what I want to look at in our embodied practice today a little bit, how we can find some spaciousness so we do feel that this body is a Mishkan. So come on to standing. I'm going to invite you either to take standing poses freely or to use the aid of a chair. And I'm going to model with the chair. So for those who have not had that experience, you could feel what that looks like. But of course, you don't need the chair to do it. Let's first come to mountain pose. The feet can be together or hip width apart. The stance of a mountain, stable, foundational, lifted up. So the four corners of the feet are grounded, the inner and outer heel. the mound of the big toe over to the mound of the little toe. Ground the feet. And sense in your body that the hips are over the ankles and the shoulders rest above the hips, and that the neck is long and that the head can float. As you press the four corners of the feet down, the crown of the head lifts up. So we feel integrated or moving toward the intention for integration, and that the joints are lined up, the bones are lined up. Be here and breathe. Rest your eyes in their sockets. Bring ease to the jaw and to the throat and to the abdomen. Invite in God's presence. V'shachanti betocham, that I may dwell within them. Okay, we're going to take the legs wide and take a wide leg forward bend. So if you'd like to use the chair would go in front of you. Legs are wide. Outer edges of the feet are in line with the outer edges of the mat. Toes perhaps turned a little bit in. But you can also take your hands to blocks or to the floor. Bring the hands to the hips and just feel that grounding from the crest of the pelvis down toward the floor. Just feel that grounding. Lengthen the tailbone. Inhale, lift the sternum, lift the heart. Draw the shoulder blades toward each other. And then exhale, fold forward at the hip crease, hands to the chair or elbows to the chair. So the chair is nice if you're challenged in flexibility in the hamstrings and the legs, or if you just want to cultivate rest and ease. So you're coming to the chair, hands to the floor, maybe the crown of the head towards the floor. Draw up on the kneecaps, engage the quadriceps, the thighs. When you're ready, inhale and come on up. Lift up, gaze up. Exhale, come back to center. Step or hop the feet together. We'll take triangle pose next. Chair comes to the right side of your mat. Widen the legs. Left toes in, right toes out. Front heel bisects the back arch. So we're in one line here. The hands can also stay on the hips. If you just want to work like this, that's fine too. You don't have to necessarily extend the arms. If you'd like to, inhale, extend the arms. Really ground those four corners of both feet. Exhale, shift the hips like they're sliding along a conveyor belt. Shift the hips and extend the spine long. Hand to the chair. So this would just be a gentle triangle, or again, if there's a lot going on in your body and you want to take some ease or flexibility is really challenging, this is a beautiful place to be, right? So you might come down further. You might bring the top arm up. Gaze can be forward or gaze can be up toward the ceiling. Feel that you can lengthen the tailbone. So there's no crunching in the lower back. Couple of breaths. When you're ready, press into the feet, inhale to come up. Turn the feet, change the chair to the other side if you're using the chair. So even on days when you're depleted Or even if you're working with some pain or some injury, you can still practice, right? Like this is just a very gentle triangle pose. We can always take that. Left toes out, right toes in. Inhale. Exhale, shift the hips, extend the torso. Hand down. Again, top arm can come up. Gaze can be forward, or gaze can be up toward the ceiling. In this, as in all postures, imagine that the spine is so long on your inhale. You're really lengthening and making room for all of those discs to nourish them. And then on the exhale, there's a spin of the spine that happens in triangle pose, right? From the tailbone to the crown, a spin. It's a bit of a twist in this pose. When you're ready, press into the feet, inhale and come up. Jump the feet together. Again, if you're using the chair, I'll take it to the other side. Warrior two. Turn the feet. And if you're taking it on the chair, it's here. Hands can be on the hips or hands can be extended. You decide. And the gaze is over the right shoulder. Smooth, easy, steady breaths. Back leg is straight. And when you're ready, come on out. We'll change sides. Right toes in, left toes out. Inhale and exhale, bend the knee, come on into the pose. So again, arms can be up or hands can be down. Torso lengthened, lifted, extended, navel drawing toward the spine, just to support and scaffold the torso. Gaze is over the left shoulder. When you're ready, press into the feet and come on out. Next, we're going to do forward fold with the legs closer together. So legs hip width apart. Hands to the hips. Inhale, lift the heart up, draw the elbows toward each other. Exhale, fold at the hips, not at the waist. Hands to the chair, perhaps, or elbows, forearms to the chair. You decide. Forehead to the chair. If you're using it, right? Hands can also come to blocks or to the floor. Good. Again, pressing into the four corners of the feet. Lift up on the kneecaps. Engage the quads. See that you're not sitting back behind your heels, right? Again, ankles and hips in the same line. Soften in the abdomen. And draw the pubic bone back in space. Help lengthen and create sort of a hollow feeling through the abdomen. When you're ready, inhale, come on up, lift up. Exhale, mountain pose. Okay, next we're going to take warrior three, casually known as airplane. Let me show you first without the chair. You have a few options for the arms. You can keep the arms by your sides, extend through the fingertips. You can take airplane arms out to the sides, or you could extend the arms above your head and lengthen there, right? So 3 choices. If you're using the chair, I like to drape over the back of the chair and really let the chair catch me where my lower belly can be supported at the crease of the hips that can lift up and over, right? So if you're using the chair, you're going to come over like so, hands to the chair, and practice lifting one leg and then lifting the other leg. Okay, so here we go. If you're using the chair, fold on over, take your hands to the chair. If you're free in space, let's step the right foot forward, and that's going to be our standing leg. Inhale here, lengthen your body, and then exhale and fold. Come on in. If you're on the chair, you're sending your left leg back. Few breaths here. The left foot is flexed. The toes are all 5 pointing down. And the heel goes no higher than the height of your sitting bone. So just a really nice solid T position. Belly drawing in, left hip closing down toward the floor, right? We're not opening out to the left. And then when you're ready, come on up and we'll switch sides. So that would be stepping forward on your left foot. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Couple of breaths. Right leg extending, crown of the head extending. Bring the gift of your attention, of your awareness, of your strength. As you're ready, come on out. Right? Creating this mishkan means we have to build in strength, in resilience, in flexibility. In our ability to stay attentive and aware and hold focus. Okay, we're going to come down to the floor. You can bring your blanket to the floor, lay it down. So we have some lift here for our hips. We're going to be doing a seated forward fold. That's here. And I wanted to say you can also do that on the chair. I guess I'll show that from the side. So if you want to use the chair for this, it's helpful if when you try to sit down, you really roll to the back of your sitting bones and it's impossible to get up onto your sitting bones. That's when the chair is going to be great for you. It lessens the angle at your hip. You're going to extend your legs, right? And you can work here. So we're working on that stability of the pelvis. Neutral pelvis that we began with. You'll start here in staff pose. And then the forward bend, if you wish, can start to come forward. You can even use your strap around your feet. So let's take staff pose. So that's here, if you're in the chair, or it's seated with your legs straight forward. See if as much as possible you can disengage the hip flexors in holding you up. Take the palms down by your sides, press them down. Really place your shoulder blades onto your back. Collarbones are wide. Upper arm bones perhaps drawing back in space. We just spend so much time hunched over our computers, right? So really this can be challenging just to open up and stabilize the upper chest. Flex through the feet. Good. You can stay here, or if you'd like, you might want to begin to fold forward. As we inhale, lengthen the spine. As we exhale, start to hinge from the sitting bones, right? From the torso coming over the tops of the thighs, the pelvis coming over the tops of the thighs. You can use the strap if you'd like, either just seated upright or starting to fold forward. Or maybe you grab your big toes or the outside of the feet or the tops of the feet. Maybe you just want to have the arms out to the sides. Lots of options. Each inhale, we lengthen. And each exhale, a little bit of fold. Right? So little by little, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, long spine. And exhale, fold. And then once you get to the end of your range of motion here, you can round your back as long as that's okay for you and not contraindicated. If you have any lower disc issues, right? Often you don't want to round, you don't want to send those discs out, you want to bring those discs in. So you want to feel length and extension. So for those people, you may not want to round. If it's okay for you, then you can round a little bit. When you're ready, come on up. Good. We're going to bend the knees, soles of the feet to the floor. Take the hands around the underside of the thighs. Draw the navel in, and again, long from the tailbone to the crown. The collarbones are wide. Inhale here. Exhale, start to hinge back just a little bit. Feel the abdominal muscles, feel the core engage. Again, we're not rounding, we're keeping long. Good. And then from here, maybe you want to extend your arms, lift one leg up, lift the other, perhaps both. Right? So you could keep your feet down, you could tap one the other, you could lift them up, you could extend them long. Again, keeping the long torso, you could lower and lift if you'd like. You could move a little side to side if you'd like. This is your abdominal time, as you wish. And then when you're done, come on back. Extend the left leg long, right knee bent, draw it in towards the chest. Lift up, inhale, and exhale, take a little twist to the right. We're not doing a huge twisting session here. This is just a counter pose for the abdominal work and the forward fold, and then come back through center and take an open twist to the left. Come on back, switch sides. Inhale tall, and exhale, take a little twist over to the left. Inhale through center, and a little counter twist to the right. Good. Come on back. Come on off your support. Once again, hands to the backs of the thighs. This time we are going to round on our way down. So we're tall. Inhale here. Exhale, start to curl and lengthen as we come down vertebra by vertebra to the floor. Good. Back to constructive rest position. And we're going to come back to where we started here with the pelvic tilt. Okay? So just a few times. Inhale, fill the belly, neutral spine. Exhale, press the lower back, round the lower back, tailbone toward the feet. And hold until the exhale is completely out. Inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale, elongate, press the lower back to the floor. Couple times for yourself, just like this, in your own breath. Complete inhale and complete exhale. Just to feel this pelvic tilt, this movement, this length through the lumbar and sacral areas of the spine. Creating the inner Mishkan by bringing space, bringing awareness to the endeavor. Creating a space from which our own unique gifts can shine and come forth. And then nidivut lev, the generosity, begins with ourselves. Begins with ourselves. Come back to neutral spine. And one more time, let's take the knees into a hug. Take it anywhere you like from here. Maybe it's a rocking side to side. Maybe you want to make circles with the knees, or maybe you just want another movement or two, pose or two before we close. So, being led by your inner wisdom, inner guidance, see if there's any movement that wants to arise. And of course, if you're ready for stillness, go ahead. Just allowing your body to flow as it wishes. And whenever you are ready, coming to stillness. It might look like traditional Shavasana, as I'm doing, with the legs long and the palms facing up and the shoulder blades tucked under you. You might want to put some support under your knees. You may prefer knees bent, soles of the feet to the floor. Or any other variation. It's just taking a few moments for stillness, for the nervous system to integrate the work. Begin to deepen the breath. And of course, if you have more time or stillness for Shavasana, by all means, turn off the video. Take a little more time for yourself. And you can come back to your day whenever you're ready. If you're returning now, just starting to deepen the breath, give some wiggles, and make your way up to a comfortable seat. We'll continue to hold this kavanah of building the internal mishkan, bringing our gifts forward over the next few weeks. As we close practice today, just bringing our awareness to anyone who needs healing in your life, sending out wishes for healing. Might be for yourself, family, community members. Now to all beings everywhere who are suffering. And we close as we've been doing every week with Achenu. And I want to share with us once again the video from the Tamari Project, which really means a lot because one of the founders of this musical youth village was Sagi Dekelchen, who since we've practiced together a few weeks ago, he has come home from captivity. So that's really incredible. So I'd like to play that for our prayer today for the hostages, for their release. And I want to acknowledge those who have come home this past week and so sadly and tragically, those whose bodies have been returned. Shiri Bibas, Ariel Bibas, Kfir Bibas, Oded Lifshitz. And thinking of those who remain still in captivity. So we'll listen. And of course, also keeping in mind Palestinian civilians who are suffering, be it in Gaza, in the West Bank, those who are suffering throughout the world. So Rachel, great, is going to pull up this video for us.
One, two, one, two. אחינו כל בית ישראל, אחינו כל בית ישראל, הנתונים בצרה ובשביה, העומדים בין בים ובין ביבשה. המקום יבוט לגאולה השתה בעגלה ובזמן קריב השתה בעגלה ובזמן קריב
השתה בעגלה בזמן קריב ונאמר אמן. May they be returned in safety, swiftly. Rachel has included for us the link to that video. Thank you, Rachel. And also the Tamari Project has a channel on YouTube. They've recorded many more songs. So I encourage you to listen. Just going to move to a more comfortable spot. Model what I teach. You should have comfort for your body. So I do encourage you to check them out.